evil can be overcome. Okay? And some of the words that Father has paraphrased here, I will read them out. It says, God has been the parent of pain, sorrow and lamentation ever since he lost his first children, Adam and Eve. Throughout history, human beings have not known the identity of the devil, Satan, who caused the human fall, which led to all kinds of evils. For 14 years, Reverend Moon laboured desperately to discover all the secrets of the spiritual world through many bruising spiritual battles. Finally, he discovered the real identity of Satan, the origin of all evil. He also uncovered Satan's strategy and tactics for multiplying his power. The human blood lineage defiled through the fall can be restored through the marriage blessing movement. So that's number 5. And so the first thing we all acknowledge is that there is evil in the world. Do we believe that? You see it every day? Yeah. So, can evil be overcome? I mean, everyone here, I think, really believes that evil can be overcome. But there are a lot of faiths and traditions and people who think that evil is just the other side of the coin. Yeah. So to recognise good, you have to have evil to recognise good. And so it sort of makes logical sense to a lot of people that they are together and you'll never stop a world of conflict. But we recognise that that's a fundamental contradiction. It basically means I will take 2 steps forward in the right direction and then I'll take 2 steps backwards in the wrong direction. And I'll just do that all the time. So if you do that, you actually go anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get any development. But our society is full of the fact that things are growing. We have families, right? I mean, imagine the state of conflict if you had a situation where I'll have a child, no, I won't have a child. I'll have a child, no, I won't have a child. So that's a big problem because those who are parents who have their children, your child is the greatest source of joy in your life. Yeah? So, and you would only do good things for your child. Yeah? So you would never decide, well, he's got to understand evil, so I'll put the child in a tough situation, like lock him up and close the key and walk away for a month and then come back and see how he is. No, people, mind you, we've had situations where people have been abducted and kidnapped and abused, but that's not the nature. So the fundamental thing is to recognise is that evil was never originally here. We understand that, but helping others to recognise that fact can help people realise we can have one world under God. We can have a family that is unique and loving and sharing and harmonious, and people just love to be with each other. That's point number 5, and it's a really essential point that evil can be overcome. Now, a lot of people out there just think it's normal to have conflict, that it's a part of it, but it's not. Evil is not a fundamental element of God. It is a consequence of a mistake, and that's something we need to recognise. Evil is a consequence of a mistake, and which means that mistakes happen because we're not fully connected to God. We're not mature, we're immature. So I'll go on to the 6th one. So the 6th point is that love is perfected in 4 types of relationships. Okay? We need to experience 4 types of relationships. And the quote that Father has here is, the 4 realms of love and heart are parental love, conjugal love, children's love, and siblings' love. We find them in the joyful and loving heart of a mother who cradles her baby in her arms and nurses it at her breast. We find it in the devoted son who finds his greatest satisfaction through dedicating himself to helping his parents. So that is the complete solution. You have the first here saying evil can be overcome. So how do you overcome it? Well, literally by the next statement, love is perfected in the 4 types of relationships, which means that parental love, which is the path that all of us are headed towards, is the one that needs to be perfected first, because parental love is the love that we need to grow. I mean, God, as our parent, wanted to love us, but we were prevented from receiving that love because we were brought up in an environment of being taught that thinking of ourselves or being selfish is the right pathway to go. And wherever we go in society and on the news or at school, we get taught that thinking about ourselves first. I used to laugh when they first brought out you go on a plane and you go for a flight and they talk about when the masks drop down, you put it on yourself and don't help anyone else. I remember seeing that. It says mask drop down and you put it, and I even saw on one plane the mask in a demonstration, a video demonstration. I wasn't on the plane, just this example of something that happened in America where it actually in flight the mask fell down and the person wanted to put it on their child first, and the stewardess came past and said, you can't do that, you've got to put it on yourself first. So, and then we saw the change and say, I'll put it on yourself first, then help someone. But the whole attitude was, you don't think about other people. And that is not how you grow or develop. You can only grow when you have a relationship of love. And so we have those 4, and we have a lot of teaching in relation to the 4 realms of heart and love. But the fundamental, most important one is parents' love. Because the parents, if they are good and whole and complete, then you grow up to be good, whole and complete. But if your parents are lacking, and unfortunately we are lacking, so our kids grew up different ways. But the answer to evil and the answer to the growth is that love is perfected in 4 types of relationships. And if we can recognize the 4 types of relationship, and that relationship is one that actually brings us closer, and that we become one family and then ultimately one family of God, then we have automatically the kingdom of heaven on earth, because that's what it is. So I will end my little message today and continue this next month, and hopefully we'll be outside on a sunny day. So I'll just offer a closing prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parent and true parents, we're grateful to be able to have this opportunity to gather here together, to have this opportunity to really experience each other's hearts, and also to experience these 4 realms of heart, what it means to be a parent, what it means to be a husband and wife, what it means